guys, it's Skater Bite. Welcome back to my channel, and we are going to be delving into the mind of Trisha Paytas.
I am an open book. Definitely no subject off limits to me. It's very dangerous to know me or even talk to me. I'm coming off something pretty crazy. Wow, Trish, you're really beautiful. Wow. Jason really messed up by letting you go. You seem so sane and just wonderful. You're like a little angel. Like how could he have let you go? You're basically Jesus on YouTube. Sometimes wish I could just live offline, but like I can't. Like addicted to pain. Love being a sadist. And all I keep hearing about is how evil and what a liar I am. You contradict yourself so much. People just start telling you how you feel, how you're feeling, and you're just like, okay, whatever. Cancel me forever. I mean, I literally don't care.
Wow.
Deserves to be in a mental institution. Actually, already was, so I was out in 48 hours, so I guess I wasn't that crazy, so love that. Plans change and my mentee changes day to day. Like some days I wake up, I'm like, can't get out of bed. Feel like I should go check into a mental institution again. If you're gonna tell me how I'm feeling, like I'm not gonna, why am I gonna respect that? I was happier when I had no money.
Wow.
But it's things I'd rather not talk about, but if they come out sometimes, whether I'm like messed up or whatever the case is, or sometimes I just blab. And I will take a break probably in June. What if I just go down the path of Anna Nicole? Just overdose at 36. I'm on drugs.
So what's the craziest drug you've ever done?
Meth.
Don't do meth.
I was like, ooh, heroin sounds fun.
This white crumpled up object in her hand. And she's like, hi everybody, thanks for coming. She unravels it. She goes, this is the body bag my daughter was carried out in from overdosing on heroin. I was like, okay, noted. Never doing that. It was like traumatizing. I will never, that's why
I don't know, maybe I won't do it.
Trish, don't.
I'm just kidding, I don't do heroin.
Not convincing at all.
Hey Gator, it is wonderful to be a part of this with you. I am the Natureman, and yes, today we're going to be talking about mental health and also sharing a personal story of my own. So stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's go into it.
So here is Trisha beginning the conversation about her addictions.
I like to have, I guess, somewhat control over like what I put out and stuff. And sometimes when I talk with someone, just my nature is to be very open. There's obviously like so much like weird drama around me lately. I don't really know why.
And the mental health that is affected not only by the addictions, but just everything in general in her life.
Actually, wanting to harm yourself and thinking of ways to harm yourself, obviously get help. You know, I don't have those thoughts. I really don't. As my therapist likes to say, when I have said that, which I regret saying that I want to end my life and stuff like that, you know, not that it's justifying behavior at all, but like, because obviously if someone says that to you, like, I think you should take everything seriously, obviously, and it's so scary and no one should have that guilt put on them. But he's like, you're kind of saying out loud that I want this pain to end. That's like your way. That's like a very obviously dramatic way to say I want this pain to end. But it's not a good thing to say. You could end up in a mental hospital. It's going to scar you and be on your record for life. So probably not the right thing to say if you don't truly mean it. And if you truly mean it, hopefully someone in your life cares enough to help, to get you help. And if you don't truly mean it, you're going to end up in a psych ward and you're going to see people who truly do mean it, and you can see how scary that is and how it would be scary for you, how it would be scary for people who love you.
And the type of addictions that she has, drugs have this effect on you that you feel like you need them all the time. And unfortunately, you'll notice too in her conversation, she begins to laugh, and that becomes a defense mechanism. I am 8 days sober, as I said to him, and it kind of felt weird to say that out loud because I don't think of myself as an addict, but I am. I have a lot of addictions. I have a very addictive personality. I have an SLA. I'm an SLA, which is a sex and love addict, 100%, and that's like my biggest. Then I have an addiction to prescription drugs. I think I was developing somewhat of, maybe not an addiction, but a fascination, but an addiction to trying illicit drugs. And then I started becoming dependent on alcohol, which dependent also means addiction. Dependent on love, addiction to love. Dependent on food, addiction to food. And I have a food addiction. So, okay, that's a lot. Like if you're someone with an addictive personality, you get it. If you're someone who doesn't have an addictive personality, you don't get it. So think about, and so I've been sober 8 days
What did I just mention? I'm just trying to think of all the things I mentioned. Of all that stuff. I don't have the intimate love or sex in the past, like, while, 8 days, 2 weeks, whatever. I stopped drinking 8 days ago because I didn't drink all last year, but I started up again like around February. Pills and illicit drugs. I stopped completely, and that includes like when someone's like, maybe you should try, getting some sort of medicine for sleeping. I was like, I don't want to, and I straight up told him, I said, I know what maybe is what I need, because I do need to sleep, because when you don't sleep, he said you can turn psychotic, like it can make you psychotic. But I'm so scared to be dependent on anything to aid in sleeping or aid in controlling my thoughts, because once I become dependent, I become addicted. And so, yeah, so I kind of did all of this quitting cold turkey forcefully, kind of. I was kind of forced to do this. So, yeah, like, say Wednesday or Thursday, I don't even know what date it is. A week ago, today's Wednesday. No, today's Thursday.
So now that she's admitted the root cause of her addictions to drugs and alcohol, which in her situation was the breakup with her boyfriend.
It started, and there's no blame on the situation, but it obviously started with the breakup. And obviously there's ways to cope with a breakup besides going nuts. But I started drinking heavily, and for me, pain pills took away pain, even emotional pain. So mixing the two, not recommended. And I was trying to balance it, being like, okay, well, if I take the pills throughout the day and then kind of drink at night and enough to fall asleep, we're good. All of this stuff, by the way, was making me very emotional. So trying to be friends with my ex while high, when we had a relationship for a year of me being relatively sober. I mean, for the beginning, I was kind of drunk like the first couple months, and then like maybe the first couple months did some sort of drug use, but for the most part being sober. And then going from that to trying to be friends, we're already in this place of like not really a good place. And now I'm communicating high with this person, and I'm emotional every morning and every night, not getting better, feeling sad, having, what's the word? Episodes, I guess. Obviously a recipe for disaster, obviously. And I don't know if I guess.
Now, something that she says here is very important to key in on is the fact that even though she was addicted to drugs and alcohol, she was still functional. So there are people that can be addicted to a controlled substance and still be functional in life, and you may not be aware of it unless you see certain signs of behavior that indicate that something's just not right there. And obviously when you communicate with people, you can pick up on some indicators in their conversation.
I admitted a couple times that I was messed up, and I was like, I honestly don't remember that. But I was functioning, I guess. So even a lot of the videos at the time, I wouldn't say I was like so messed up, but obviously I wasn't trying to show myself, you know what I mean? I wasn't trying to show my real self, because I was kind of unsure like what people would see of it. Like, I think to other people, and not even like to my ex, but to other people that I feel like even to him, I think maybe they thought I was okay just going through some emotional distress, which I was.
And it's interesting to see how one decision leads to another, and down the road it could lead to a harmful state.
So it started with pain pills and alcohol, and but then I started trying different things that would make me almost feel out of my body. Like, I didn't want to feel myself or my body. I didn't want to be me. Like, I truly didn't. For the first time in my life, actually, I didn't want to be me. Usually when I go through a breakup, I'm like, oh my God, this pain is awful. Like, this sucks. But I always was like, but you're you have a good career. Like, you still have a good life. Like, Keep on track.
She can now begin the process to heal.
Keep on track. And so with this one, I was like, you know, keep on track. But the pain felt too real because the pain was, I wasn't happy with myself.
For someone like myself, that could mean suicide. Back in 2008, I was at the lowest point in my life, and I felt like I wasn't worthy to be alive. And I felt like the only way that I could solve that was to die. I didn't want to die a gruesome death. I didn't want my family to see me in a gruesome way. And the only solution that I had was to just hold my breath until I couldn't breathe anymore. And so I sat in my bed and held my breath. And it maybe was 20 or 30 seconds. But it was at that moment, as I was holding my breath, that I heard a voice. And that voice said, "You are worth being alive." And I gave out the biggest exhale and sat in that bed and said, okay, why? Now the next day I had to get some medicine for my dog, so I went to the veterinarian hospital to do so. And as I was sitting in the car contemplating going in, I didn't want to. I didn't want to face anyone. I didn't want to face reality. But I knew I had to do this. So I walked in, and at the counter, I was greeted by the receptionist. And with the most warmest smile I had ever seen, she just said, "Hi, how may I help you?" And folks, it was that smile, that day, that changed my life. It made me realize that there's a miracle just around the corner. So I would greatly urge all of you, if you're watching this, and I'm sure Gator will agree with this, if you're at a point in your life that you feel the lowest and you feel it's best to turn to drugs and alcohol or even worse, please get some help. Talk to somebody. Don't hold it in, because your life is worth living. What can you do to step in to help these people out?
Trisha Paytas, please get some help. We all see the struggle that you're going through right now, and it doesn't have to be this way. I know how you feel, believe it or not. I've been in immense amounts of pain myself, and I know what it's like to just wish that pain would just go away. But you are worth so much on this earth to somebody, and you do make a difference, believe it or not. And I know I've seen the downfall, but it doesn't have to keep being this way. Please, Trisha, get some help. If not for anyone else, for yourself, because you deserve to be here.